realized I never showed you how my China Lace collection ended up in the drawer. I would say I got rid of pretty much a third, almost half of my China Lace polishes. This is what all of my Essie polishes look like in the drawer. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52 Essie polishes. So this is what my Essie polish stash looks like to begin with, and I am going to do 10 a week, so it's going to be about 5 videos. I might do the last couple videos as like, you know, the 11 polish videos. I have to think about it, but anyway, that's how all my Essies look in the drawer. That's what my China Glazes ended up looking like. And then here's a quick update of what my racks look like. My racks. And sorry. So to begin with, my OPIs filled up basically both of these nail polish racks, and then I had these little bits down here. Forgive this bit over here. Sorry. But this is what my OPIs look like now on the shelves, and there are little spots here and there where I've like taken polish out to like paint my nails, but otherwise this is all of my OPI, and this is actually all of my Zoya. All of my Zoya fit in these spaces too. So I'm assuming it can actually probably fit most of my China Glaze collection on these racks as well. So I'm hoping that as these videos go by, and at the very end of this project, when I weed out polishes a little bit more, that majority of my nail polishes will be able to fit on these 2 nail polish racks. So I'm going to start the Essie series actually by swatching all of my Luxe Effects colors that I have from Essie. The Luxe Effects lines, line originally, I believe, started as a group of 5 top coats, which primarily highlighted this guy, which is Shine of the Times. And when they first came out, it was like a really big deal because Essie generally did not do stuff like this. So I remember it was such a big deal, especially for the flaky top coat. So I have these guys still. I have gotten rid of a lot of Essie glitters over the past probably 1.5 to 2 years because I just don't wear them very often. These are the 5 top coats that I have left, which I believe are actually all original Luxe Effects colors. So I'm going to start here and then go by color. So I have, after these 5 to show you, I have a white, a gray, like a sparkly platinum color, and then 2 neutrals. And then from there, we'll just do the rest of my neutrals, reds, my 1 coral. I have no yellows because I don't think Essie has a yellow. Maybe they have a yellow or a gold, but I just don't have it. And then my greens, turquoises, blues, purples, pinks, and that's all of my Essies. So yeah, I'm going to start with these guys and then get into the rest of the colors. Since these are top coats, by the way, I am just going to do 1 coat of these guys over some sort of base. The first base I'm going to start with is actually Mint Candy Apple by Essie because I was actually wearing this week. So I'm probably just going to do this by color. So I'm going to start with this guy over here and then do the silver, Shine of the Times, this guy, which is called As Gold as It Gets, and then this one, which is called A Cut Above. And then we'll go on to the other ones. So the first color that I'm going to show you guys today is called Pure Pearlfection. Again, this was from the original Luxe Effects collection. And this is a pearly top coat with like really, really tiny pearly flecks in it. And again, I am swatching over Essie's Mint Candy Apple, which is a manicure that I had on during the week. I actually put it on yesterday, and it's not looking great, which is a whole different story, and I'll tell you guys about that when I start swatching other nail polishes from Essie. But this is what it looks like in the first coat. This is definitely meant to be a top coat on its own, or not on its own. If you really wanted to, you could definitely do multiple coats, but it's at its best 1 coat over a different nail polish because you just get that really gentle pearly top coat finished. A fly just flew into my face. Sorry. This really pretty speckle of like pearly, like crushed pearls on your nails, and so it's really pretty, especially over a color like Mint Candy Apple. It's really elegant and sort of like glam, but not being too over the top. So yeah, that is what the first and only coat of Pure Pearlfection looks like over my manicure. So this is what it looks like up close. Again, really, really pretty and elegant on the nail. I'm not going to keep it just because I haven't worn it in so long. And this is one of those colors that's like, I've had it for so long and it was like a nostalgic thing. Like I remember when they first came out and how big of a deal it was. One of those types of colors, and it really kind of breaks my heart to get rid of it, but I don't use it. So that's what it looks like up close, and it's going to get destashed. The next color I'm going to show you guys is called Settin Stones, and I'm going to put it over a coat of Retail Therapy by Sally Hansen, which I don't know if I ever told you is the reason why I always swatch like top coats over it is because it's just sitting on this table and I've never put it away. Literally since I bought it, I've worn it actually quite a few times to like Sharks games, but I've never since put it in a drawer. It's always lived on this table, so that's why I'm swatching it with all these top coats, and I figured it's a nice standardized thing to put it over. Settin Stones is a silver hex glitter in a clear base. So this was their silver glitter top coat that they came out with. There's quite a bit of glitter pickup in this, which I actually really like. I feel like it makes it a really easy to work with glitter, considering not all glitter top coats do that. Sorry, this was like super messy. I know that bothers some of you, and I apologize. So yeah, that is what it looks like over a base. I'll do this over one bare nail as well. Sorry that the other swatch wasn't over Retail Therapy, and it wasn't over a bare nail either, but it's just, that's what I had on my nails, and I figured if I had it on my nails, I might as well use it for swatching purposes. So yeah, that's what this looks like in its first coat. So this is what Settin Stones looks like, and I am actually going to destash this one because I did keep the silver glitter from OPI, so this one is also going to get destashed, which is kind of sad again, because I really like, it's like a reminiscent, like nostalgic sort of polish, just because I remember when it came out and all that stuff. So yeah, this one's gonna get destashed. The next color I have to show you guys is called Shine of the Times. This was like really the most popular color that the year that the Luxe Effects came out, because it was a huge deal that a brand, well, really any like easy to find brand, any drugstore or like easy salon brand, basically non-indie brand, was doing flakies, but that Essie was doing flakies because Essie was such a like salon brand in terms of they did like light pinks and reds, and then suddenly they started doing color, and then they came out with Luxe Effects, which had all these different top coats and such. So it was a really big deal when they came out. This is still one of my favorite top coats, flaky wise, because I love the particle size of the flaky. I love just the color shift. It does that like opalescent green to red to orange type of shift, and it's just beautiful. So that's what it looks like over a top coat, and that's what it looks like as a top coat, and that's what it looks like on its own. So this is what Shine of the Times looks like up close. You can see how pretty it is and just how like burnt embers sort of feel it is. It is one of my favorite flaky top coats, so I am going to keep this one. Sometimes I do like to wear this one on its own just for something like something sheer and neutral but still really interesting. So yeah, that is Shine of the Times. The next color is called As Gold as It Gets, and this is a really sheer, it's basically the gold version of Pearlfection, but it's a sheer gold flake top coat that has like really small gold particles in it. And again, this is a polish that I don't use very often. I wish I did, but I just don't. It's so pretty though. And yeah, that's what it looks like when you apply it. It goes on, again, super sheer, so you can put it over pretty much anything, and I actually highly recommend it that you put it over stuff, because on its own it is a really pretty like sheer color on its own. It's again one of those colors that you could wear when you want something neutral but like interesting, but I typically don't do it, and I don't reach for this polish very often. So that's what As Gold as It Gets looks like. So here's what it looks like up close. It's really pretty and really twinkly. I really actually like the way this looks over a navy blue. However, I don't wear this very often, so I am going to have to destash it. So that is As Gold as It Gets. The next color is called A Cut Above, and this is a pink chunky glitter. It's the pink version of the silver one that I showed you earlier, and yeah, there's not very much to say about it. It's just a pink glitter in a clear base. I don't use this one very often either. I've definitely gone out of my glitter phase, which is something that I've talked about before in one of the other videos, like some of my OPI ones. So it's not something that I like reach for very often anymore. Definitely a typical top coat in that it has a pretty good glitter dispersal, but it functions best as a top coat over other stuff. The base is a little bit too thick to wear completely on its own if you layered it up, so it would just get really goopy and stuff. So yeah, that is a cut above. So that's what a cut above looks like, and I am also going to destash this one because I don't wear it very often. So it makes me really sad that 4 of the 5 original Luxe FX colors that I have are getting destashed, but functionally I just don't use them very often, even though they are still really gorgeous colors. So yeah, that is a cut above. So the next color is called Marshmallow from Essie, and this I've actually already done 2 of my nails because I'm going to show you exactly why I bought this nail polish. This is a white milky jelly nail polish, and I actually just watched the Simply Nailogical nail polishes like I hate video, and she was like, I hate milky jelly nail polishes, or milky white nail polishes, and I kind of hate them too, except for this one. This is like the only one that I have, and it's specifically, I bought Marshmallow to do jelly sandwich nail polishes with, or manicures with. The polish on its own is very, very sheer and milky and has a jelly formula. So it's got like a really squishy looking sheer texture to it when it dries down on the nail. So you can see that it's like, you know, you can get it sort of opaque. It's really sheer, but you can get kind of a good color to it if you just wanted that sheer look to the nail, which, you know, some people really do like, and depending on your work situations or just your personality, this is something that people will gravitate towards. But the reason I bought it is because when I first purchased this nail polish, this was one of the only readily available jelly white nail polishes on the market. Even I feel like indies didn't have a ton of jelly nail polishes like this. And I bought it because this is Deborah Lippmann's Happy Birthday, which, by the way, I just went over to my OPI rack and got rid of Rainbow Connection by OPI because I realized I had Happy Birthday from Deborah Lippmann, and realistically I'm not going to use both, and they're both chunky glitters. But I'm going to take Happy Birthday by Deborah Lippmann, which is a chunky rainbow hex glitter. I'm going to put a coat of it on like this. I'm going to wait for this to dry. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I can actually do the second coat of Marshmallow on my index finger. And you can see that it builds up sort of okay. It's still really sheer. I know Essie has the color Blanc, which is their like white cream polish, which is totally different than this. I believe that one's more fully opaque. But this one, with its sheer texture, you can go over a color like Happy Birthday and sandwich it between 2 coats of Marshmallow, and it gives you this like confetti like feel to your nails. So this is why I originally purchased Marshmallow, to do an effect like this on the nails. It ends up looking a lot like funfetti cake batter on your nails. It's sort of that type of look. I don't do this very often anymore, but it is like a fun sort of thing to do. And jelly manicures since then have gotten like way more easily attainable because there are so many more jelly nail polishes on the market. So I have other jellies that I can do this with, and it actually looks a lot better with other jellies because, like, if you get like a sheer blue, for example, and you sandwich colors in between, it just gives off the most beautiful sort of stained glass, squishy, glittery look on the nail, and it's really quite gorgeous. Holly from Miss Hollyberries, I feel like she does the best jelly sandwich manicures. Like, she always does them, and then I always feel like I need to do them, and they never look as good on me. But yeah, so that is why I bought Marshmallow. I'll do a third coat of Marshmallow on my index finger just so you guys can see what it looks like with 3 coats, because it is quite a sheer polish. So even with 3 coats, it's not fully opaque, and it is a little bit on the streaky side. So the polishes like this, Marshmallow, where it's really sheer and a little bit squishy looking and dries down to look sort of like a gel on the nail, is for a very specific sliver of people that don't love having color on their nail and they just want their nail to look perfected. So yeah, that is Marshmallow. There's a swim meet going on at the high school where I live next to. So if you can hear a lot of cheering or like muffled announcer voice, that's what that is. So this is what Marshmallow looks like up close. I am going to destash this one because again, I don't do this sort of cake batter type mani on my nails anymore. And I just don't wear like the sheer whites very much anymore either. So this is going to get destashed. So I have one gray by Essie, and this is called Cocktail Bling. This is a little bit more of like a blue toned gray, so it's not entirely a like a true gray polish. This is in a cream formula. This is one of the newer polishes from Essie, and when I say newer, I mean like in the last 3 years, because I haven't bought a ton of Essie in the last couple of years. I did just recently purchase the Gel Couture line, which I will do a video on. But yeah, this is what Cocktail Bling looks like in the first coat. It's pretty easy to work with. It's got a better formula than a lot of other Essie nail polishes. I have a really hard time with Essie because I love them. Like, I love Essie. I love the way it looks. I love the colors they have, but I hate their formula. And now that I think about it, for the last like 7 years, I've been justifying being nice to Essie in like videos and in my real life because I really like them. Like, I have a soft spot for them. And so I'm like, I should be nice to them because I like them. But realistically, their formula is not great. They have gotten a lot better at their color range. I feel like for a brand that started off that was so salon, that was so wedding neutral, bridal neutral, sheers, and like a couple of reds and pinks sprinkled in. They've done a really good job expanding their line, but their formula is always sort of something that's like not, you know, it's not something that I would ever vote to be like my favorite formula. So yeah, Essie I have a really hard time with because I love them, but I hate their nail polishes, you know? So yeah, this formula is not terrible. This is actually probably dry, so I can do my other fingers while I'm talking, but it's not terrible. The cream goes on really smoothly. It's not super streaky. And let's see if it gets opaque in 2 coats. I don't remember wearing this polish very often. And it's like, it's one of those brands that since they're at the drugstore now, like I see them all the time and they just look so pretty in their stand and I get sucked into their little display and I'm like, oh, this is pretty. And I buy their polishes. So I'm kind of constantly destashing Essies because I like them, but then I end up like not liking them. So yeah, that's actually opaque in 2 coats, which is not bad. The color again is not a true gray. It's definitely got a little bit more of a blue tone to it, and it's like a mid-tone blue. So that is Cocktail Bling. So here's what it looks like up close. I am going to destash this one because I kept a gray from OPI that I like, and I don't wear gray as much as I think I do. So yeah, this one is going to get destashed. The next color is called Beyond Cozy, and this actually came out in specifically the Beyond Cozy collection, which was a holiday collection a couple of years ago. And I remember purchasing this because I felt like Essie had never done a platinum glitter before. This is a platinum micro glitter in, I think it's a sheer base. I think it's a clear base, but you can't really tell because it's super, super densely packed micro glitter. And this was my favorite Essie for a while. However, the formula wasn't terrible when I first opened the bottle, and I've about used half the bottle now, but it's gotten goopy really quickly. So I've actually already thinned this out a couple of times. So I think this is sort of on its last leg. I do have a backup of this because I really liked the way that this looked, and again, I'm a huge fan of micro glitter, so that's what it looks like up close, or not up close, but that's what it looks like in its first coat. It's actually almost completely opaque in 1 coat, especially now that it's a thicker polish. I could probably do 1 thicker coat. This first one is actually dry, so I can go in with the second coat to show you guys right now what it looks like. With 2 coats, and it's opaque in 2 coats, but yeah, it's a really gorgeous color. This was again something that was a little unusual for me from Essie, just color wise and finish wise. So that is Beyond Cozy. So here's what Beyond Cozy looks like up close. This in particular, I am actually going to throw away because it's just so goopy. Like getting that second coat on my pinky, you can even see it's not great looking. It's super goopy and I've already thinned it out a couple of times. So this is definitely like going to get thrown out. But I do have a backup of this, so that one I am going to keep. So yeah, that is Beyond Cozy. The next color I have is called Topless and Barefoot. And I think this is one of the most recent Essies that I've purchased. Allison, or Amarique, which she actually just, I think just goes by Allison now, but she was doing like makeup de-stash and a nail polish de-stash a couple years ago, and she was saying that this was her favorite. It was like her favorite nude and her favorite Essie color, so I went looking for it because I don't know, I thought that it would look good on me. Even though we look totally different, but she had a lot of good things to say about it, so I thought I would pick it up. This is it's really just like a true beigey nude color in a cream formula. This has one of the thinner Essie formulas, so it does actually dry really, really shiny, but it is, you know, it's pretty sheer to begin with, and it does take a couple of coats to get fully opaque. So that's the first coat of Topless and Barefoot. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of Topless and Barefoot, and this gets a little bit more saturated in color, not fully bright or anything, and it gets pretty much fully opaque in 2 coats. The formula isn't fantastic, so this is what I was talking about with like Essie formulas. Even though it like dries really shiny, it's sort of streaky and not, you know, it's hard to get to look really perfectly nice. So yeah, that is Topless and Barefoot. So this is what it looks like up close. It is actually a very pretty color. It's a really nice, almost a little bit peachy nude color, but I haven't actually worn it since I purchased it. So this is going to get de-stashed. So the last color I'm going to show you guys today is called Mink Muffs, and this is a brown cream color. It's kind of like the color of like chocolate milk. It's got that slightly sort of milky tone to it, even though it is a brown. This is a really old nail polish from Essie, or not like, well, yeah, old in my collection for sure. This I actually bought in the beginning of like collecting Essie. This was one that I saw on Scrangy, and it was one of the first brown polishes that I purchased as well, and it was one of those really ugly neutral sheer, or not sheer, ugly neutral colors that was really popular in the fall of like 2010, 2011. And yeah, this is what it looks like in the first coat. Again, a little bit more of a sheer polish, dries really, really shiny, and that's what the first coat looks like. I'm going to go now with the second coat of Mink Muffs, and this gets fully opaque in 2 coats. In the second coat, it does get a little bit more of that like milky, slightly gray tone to it, and it deepens up just a little bit. This one is a little bit easier to use than Barefoot and Topless was, or Topless and Barefoot was, and it's got a better formula for sure. So yeah, that is the second coat of Mink Muffs. So this is what Mink Muffs looks like up close. It's a really pretty brown color. I think I'm going to keep this until, or this fall, to see how much I use it. And if I don't use it a lot, this one will get de-stashed. It is a very, very pretty brown color and a surprisingly easy to use color from Essie as well. So those are the 2 colors that I'm going to keep from Essie for this round. Well, I guess I'm keeping Beyond Cozy as well, but that one I'm throwing away, and I'm going to keep my backup. If you guys like this video, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would totally make my day. If you are new to my channel, if you could subscribe, that would also totally make my day. I do a Swatch My Stash video every Saturday. So yeah, if you guys like this series, then subscribe, and I will have all of these videos every Saturday until I run out of nail polishes to swatch. So yeah, otherwise I like to sprinkle in some other videos in there as well, whether they're beauty, nail polish, vlogs, planner stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys soon.